All right, are you Leonard Dale Idleberg?
Yes.
And this is cause number 1625968. Mr. Idleberg is on probation for driving while intoxicated, third or more. A motion to revoke has been filed, and Mr. Cole has filed a motion asking that I set a bond in this case. And it looks like the allegations from that motion are that Mr. Idleberg, while on probation, allegedly committed the new offense of driving while intoxicated, third or more, January 9th of 2025 in Chambers County, Texas, that he left Jefferson County without permission, that he drove a vehicle that did not have an interlock device on it, that when he was stopped, the allegation is the intoxilizer that was administered provided breath samples of 0.108 and 0.115 and behind in his fees a little bit as well. Mr. Cole?
Well, Your Honor, I think since the time that Mr. Idleberg was put on probation in 2017, up until this latest incident, his mental capacity has changed dramatically. He's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
All right, guys, buckle up, because what you're about to hear is no ordinary courtroom drama. This is real, raw, and unfiltered chaos playing out inside a Texas courtroom. We start with a man named Leonard Dale Idleberg. His name alone echoes through the chambers like a warning bell. He's on probation for drunk driving, not once, not twice, but for the third time or more. And now, he's dragged back before the judge, accused of breaking the rules again. Driving drunk, leaving his county without permission, skipping safety devices on his car. It's a storm of violations. The clock is ticking, and the judge isn't here for games.
He's on the verge of his nerves inside of his brain have shrunk. So on top of the Alzheimer's, he's has the possibility of having a stroke. So I think that this is him not remembering the conditions, and his wife is here that can. His keys, you're taking his keys. We do have paperwork that I gave to counsel that can, from the doctor showing that he does have Alzheimer's. He was diagnosed in March with Alzheimer's, and nerves in his brain are shrinking. Your Honor, he's unaware that he even violated the condition.
Well, that makes it even scarier for me.
That I know it does, but we're asking that we get him out, and his wife is going to take care of him and make sure that he doesn't drive that car anymore. Take the keys. Now that we're aware of.
Why don't you, if you want to put on a witness, that might help.
I'd like to call Gwendolyn Brown, please.
Okay, Ms. Brown, come on up, ma'am. Do you have some documentation about ma'am? And your name, what was your first name?
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn Brown. And Ms. Brown, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Cole.
State your name for the record, ma'am.
Gwendolyn.
Mr. Idleberg's defense comes charging in. His attorney argues this isn't just another reckless act. It's the fading shadow of a man losing his mind. Alzheimer's, brain shrinkage, nerves collapsing, the slow erosion of everything that once kept him grounded. The lawyer paints a desperate picture. His client doesn't even remember the rules he's breaking, a man trapped in a fog he can't escape. But let's get real. Does forgetting make you any less dangerous behind the wheel? The judge isn't swallowing excuses so easily. Because what's scarier than a man who drinks and drives? A man who doesn't even know he's doing it. That's not just reckless. That's a time bomb on wheels, rolling through the community with no idea when it will explode.
And Albert.
And how long have you known this gentleman right here?
We've been married 13 years.
13 years. And when did you start noticing deterioration in his mental capacity?
Back in December last month. Last year, 2004.
I guess another question I want to ask you is,
Can you speak up, please?
what are you willing to do to ensure that Mr. Idleberg no longer has access to the vehicle?
I will take the keys from him. He will not drive anymore. Nothing. I already had the keys. He can't drive anymore. He will not drive anymore. He will not drive anymore. I will take the keys from him, and he will not drive.
And do you think that in the situation that happened in Chambers County, do you think that he was aware of the conditions of probation that he was violating?
No, he wasn't aware because his probation officer told him that she was done with him. So when you say you're done with somebody, that means you're done with them. You thought he wasn't on probation anymore.
So there's a lot going on upstairs, Your Honor. I don't want him showing back up in a red suit. I know she didn't care for him outside of this facility that he's currently in right now, which is in jail.
The courtroom tension spikes when Leonard's wife, Gwendolyn Brown, takes the stand. Married for 13 years, she breaks down the truth. His mind started slipping back in December, and now conversations vanish within hours. Disoriented, sometimes lost in his own home, a stranger in familiar walls. But she promises the court one thing with fire in her voice. He will not drive again. I'll take the keys. I'll guard them with my life. The room hangs heavy with her vow, every word dripping with love and desperation. Yet the big question lingers in the silence. Can devotion alone hold back disaster? Or is the collapse already in motion, too far gone to stop?
We have a court case in Chambers County that we would like to be at. And I don't think that he was intentionally violating probation. I think that he, at this point, his mind is... So he's getting lost. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. And I can have a conversation with him right now, and he'll forget it in the next 2 hours. So, you know, it's one of the
Thank you, ma'am. You can have a seat.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
When he was in jail in Chambers County, the probation officer told me to bring him to her as soon as I get him out of jail, right? So I brought him to her, and then she called his name, and I was going upstairs with him, and she said, "Miss Alibert, you have to stay downstairs." So she went, she said, only me and my supervisor need to talk to him. So I'm the supervisor talked to him, and when he came back outside, I said, "What did she say?" He said, "Nothing." She said, "Go home." But she had told him to go turn himself in to Jefferson County. And he didn't remember by the time he got back to the court. So he would have been in jail.
Right.
Now listen closely, because here's the explosive part. She testifies that probation officers gave Leonard instructions he couldn't even remember, told to report back, and by the time he got home, the order was already erased from his mind. Imagine that, probation violations stacking up not from rebellion or defiance, but from a fractured brain that can no longer hold onto reality. It's like watching a man carry lit matches through a room full of gasoline, danger multiplying with every forgotten step. The judge leans forward, eyes locked, voice sharp. That makes it even scarier for me. Boom. That line doesn't just land. It shakes the room. Because a man too far gone to follow orders is still a man the community has to fear. And mercy suddenly feels like a loaded risk.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Malfino, based on...
Obviously, I have the same concerns as the court based on the representation of his wife, that he won't be driving. That gives me a little bit of comfort. I did speak myself with Ms. Hunter. I know she's probably just told him what the rules are, and maybe he doesn't understand them, but I know she hasn't been combative with him. She initially told me she doesn't oppose him being a bond. I don't know if she's aware of these medical conditions, but, the driving factor. And obviously he couldn't go somewhere like mental health, safety, or anything with that.
No, not with that diagnosis, and I don't think with that diagnosis either.
Right.
Let me look at something else. All right, so what I'm going to do in this case is set a bond. I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. I'm going to order that a condition of that bond is that Mr. Idlebird not drive ever. And I'm doing that on the representation that the keys will be taken away, hidden, whatever's necessary. And so I'm looking at you, ma'am, that you are giving me that representation to make me feel comfortable.
The judge weighs the evidence like a sword hanging above Idleberg's fate. On one side, mercy, medical conditions, and a desperate wife begging for one more chance. On the other, public safety, the undeniable risk of putting keys back into the trembling hands of a man slipping deeper into dementia. The silence in the room feels heavy, every breath waiting on her decision. And then comes the hammer, a bond set at $5,000. But the condition is crystal clear and brutal. Leonard Idleberg is banned from driving forever. No loopholes. No, just one more ride. His wife is ordered to guard those keys like the crown jewels, because in this ruling, the difference between freedom and catastrophe rests on something as small and as dangerous as a car key.
That he doesn't get the keys somehow and drive. So just sticking them in your purse or sticking them in a drawer with this type of diagnosis is not going to be good enough. I'm going with your assurances that you're going to take care of that. Obviously, you don't want anything to happen to anyone else in the community as much as I don't. So I'm going to do this based on the fact that you're giving me those assurances. And then, obviously, there will not need to be, if there's already an order for an interlock, I will allow that to be. Is there an interlock?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But he's done.
Well, I know we want him to be done and we're saying he's done. You're able to drive the vehicle with the interlock, correct?
I can't breathe. You talking about breathing?
Y'all don't have, how many cars do y'all have?
I have one car.
Okay,
His car is gone.
it's gone.
Right.
So I won't require an interlock on her vehicle so that if he doesn't have, if that's gone, then we're fine with that. Any other condition other than the no driving and her assurances that you can think of, Ms. Malfino?
No.
But wait, this courtroom doesn't pause to breathe. Another case explodes into view. Theodore Briscoe. Another probationer. Another set of chains about to snap under the weight of his own choices. He's on probation for evading arrest with a vehicle and for drug possession. A past already heavy enough to sink most men. And guess what? He's accused of breaking probation too, piling new flames onto old fire. Court papers spill the dirt. Fresh drug charges, an assault on a family member, interfering with emergency services, and falling behind on his community service. It's a rap sheet that doesn't just list violations. It roars like a wildfire, burning everything in its path and leaving nothing but scorched ground behind.
All right, we'll reset it for an announcement on that MTRP.
Well, may I just inquire, Judge, before that hearing, is it Mr. Mr. Cole, your representation to the court that you believe at some point in time your client will be able to enter pleas of either true or not true to this motion, or do we need to make some other?
I believe that he'll be able to make pleas are true or not true.
Okay.
Yes.
Once you have more time to visit with him as well, if there's an issue because of the diagnosis with regard to competency, we might have to try to just see where we are on it all. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can go back with the bailiff. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you Theodore Briscoe?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Briscoe, in cause number 234535 is on probation for evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle. And in 236055 on probation for possession of a controlled substance.
Yes.
Motions to revoke those probation have been filed. Mr. Parker, announcement.
Your Honor, I just
The judge locks eyes on Briscoe. True or not true? She fires, each word like a bullet across the room. And the answers roll in like a drumbeat. True to drugs. True to slacking on community service. True to unpaid fees. One admission after another, the rhythm of failure pounding louder with every word. But when it comes to assault, when it comes to interfering with an emergency call, he pushes back. Not true. The courtroom stiffens, the air thick with disbelief. Are these lies, or a last-ditch defense to cling to the scraps of his freedom? His pleas split the room like thunder, shaking trust and testing patience. This isn't a man walking free. This is a man dangling on the edge of collapse, with gravity pulling harder every second.
for the record, I went to see him at the jail, and they told me he wasn't at the jail.
Oh.
So I didn't get to visit him, and
Okay.
he was here. I got to visit him this morning. I think I told him that the court would probably give us more time to go over it if we wanted to, but I think we just need to go through the motion without an agreement. I think he understands that. Also, there's a drug charge that hasn't been filed yet, just for the court's knowledge.
And so, Mr. Briscoe, we can go through those motions today, get pleas of true or not true, or I can reset your case just a few weeks if you need more time to visit with Mr. Parker since he, okay. So let me get that pulled up.
And they're the same violations on both cases, Judge.
Can I get 36055 printed, please? Oh, no, that's okay. I gotta make marks on it. Thank you. It's just hard to do when I do them both on the computer. All right, in each of these cases that we've talked about, Mr. Briscoe, I have motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. In 20-34535, the motion shows that you were placed on probation March 15th of 2021 for the third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle, and that was a 5-year deferred probation. Is that correct? And in cause number 20,
The hammer falls again. The judge finds him guilty on multiple counts, but pulls back just before final sentencing. choosing instead to reset the case and order a pre-sentence investigation. It's like delaying the explosion, holding the fuse just before it reaches the dynamite, forcing everyone to wait in uneasy silence. Briscoe's future now hangs on a knife's edge, balanced between redemption and ruin. Will the testimony of witnesses be enough to pull him back from the brink, or will the mountain of violations finally crush him completely? In this high-stakes pause, every word, every witness, every slip carries the weight of destiny, setting the stage for the final showdown where one decision could define the rest of his life.
36055. I also have a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. Shows that you were placed on probation March 15th of 2021 for the third-degree felony offense of possession of a controlled substance, and that was also a 5-year deferred probation. Is that also correct? Each of these motions allege that you violated your probation. Count 1 in each of the motions alleges that you committed the new offense of possession of a controlled substance January 5th of 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas. And is that true or not true? Count 2 in each case alleges that you committed the offense of assault causing bodily injury to a family member January 5th of 2025. And is that true or not true?
Not true.
Count 3 alleges that you committed the offense of the new interference with an emergency request for assistance January 5th of 2025. And is that true or not true? Count 4 alleges that you failed to provide verification of performing the community service hours as required. And is that true or not true? And count 6 in each case alleges that you were behind in your court-assessed fees. And is that true or not true? Did you enter your pleas of true in each case to counts 1, 4, and 5 freely and voluntarily?
What ties these two cases together isn't just crime. It's chaos, the terrifying truth of what happens when rules are broken again and again, when second chances are burned away, and when even the mind itself can no longer be trusted. Leonard Eidelberg's memory may be crumbling, but his danger isn't fading. Theodore Briscoe's defiance may be loud, but his consequences echo even louder, reaching far beyond his own life. This courtroom is no place for excuses. It's a battlefield of truth and lies, of mercy and justice colliding, where every decision cuts deep and leaves a mark that can never be erased.
And did you plead true to those counts because they're actually true? All right, then I'm going to find in each of your cases that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 4, and 5 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence in each case to find you guilty and revoke your probation, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to reset your case for sentencing. Mr. Nichols, does witnesses for either of those cases?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll have to call witnesses to prove up the two that
Sure.
pled not true to.
Do you anticipate that taking longer than an hour or so?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll just set it maybe at 11 on a regular docket day. I will ask probation to do an updated pre-sentence report. Mr. Briscoe, obviously anything that you think is important for me to know, make sure and get that information to Mr. Parker. He will present it to me on your behalf when we come back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back at sentence. Yes, it's unagreed. God bless you.
So here's the bottom line. All right, guys, this is more than probation hearings. It's a battlefield where lives tilt on the smallest decisions, where one wrong step can rewrite a future forever. This is about the razor-thin line between freedom and destruction, a line so fragile you can barely see it. But once it breaks, it's nearly impossible to repair. One man fights his own failing brain, another fights the chains of his choices. Battles that unfold in silence, in anger, and in regrets that never fade. The judge isn't just handing down rulings, she's shielding an entire community from ticking time bombs that look like ordinary men. Her decisions carrying the weight of lives she may never see but still must protect. And that's the truth of this documentary. When the gavel slams, it's not just punishment, it's consequence, a ripple spreading far beyond the courtroom walls. It's survival, the streets, the community, and maybe, just maybe, what's left of these broken men.